shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my turn till I met. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was my turn till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. And freedom is all that I know. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. And freedom is all that I know. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, now you call me citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing, now your love is here and I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Good to be with you this morning. We are deep into Joshua, and it's not nice outside. I'm just saying. I want to just quickly go through who's here with us this morning. Me and Ken Gooch is here. And so is Chuck B. Says, shalom, gentlemen. Chris Conley made it this morning. Good morning, Chris. And Dave Donnelly says, it is 32 degrees this morning, but no snow. Dave, all of us here would trade you in a minute. I got home from men's group last night. It was about 10 o'clock, and it was 3. And my windows were all iced up in my car, and they wouldn't open from all the melting snow and then the refreezing, and it was just so nice. I love my Michigan. I swear I do. Yeah. Don't believe it. Not for a minute. Today's verses are from Joshua 4, right? And yeah, Joshua 4, verses 1 through 10. I'm going to pull those up here in a second. I just want to recap where we're at so far. So God told Joshua to line the people up behind the Ark of the Covenant, and when the priests stepped into the water, they would cross. And yesterday, Tom read through you that's exactly what happened. And today's verses will pick up right from there. I believe looks like the best chronological order. Good morning, Brian. Glad you made it. So we in the book that the 4th chapter starts, we look at the people have started crossing, or just it looks like they're done. Let's start it right here. When the nation had finished passing over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, take 12 men from the people, from each tribe a man, and command them, saying, take 12 stones up from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the very place where the priest's feet stood firmly, and bring them over with you and lay them down in the place where you lodge tonight. I read this and I think to myself, it's not real specific, is it? It's just take 12 stones. And I'm thinking human nature, right? I remember as a kid, my dad helped raise money for an addition on the Catholic church we were going to. They were building a new building, and he went door to door. He was raising money, anything he could do to raise money. But I remember his name was on the plaque. And for him, that he was so proud of that. It was like this, recognition for a job well done. And I read this, and it reminded me of that, because I'm thinking to myself, you give 12 guys from 12 different tribes. It doesn't really specifically say there was any competition between the tribes, but just sibling rivalry alone, you think there'd be some. And I thought to myself, I wonder if each one of them chose a stone that would recognize it, and then they could pass down saying, this is the stone from Judah, and this is the stone from Manasseh, and this is, what I'm saying? And to me, that it was a question. It never says, and it really doesn't go into specifics. But to me, I thought, because then there'd be that point where you could go back and say, here's the son that I pulled out. This is what our clan did. Just a thought. It doesn't say that, and it might even be wrong-headed. I just know humans, and I know how we can be. When Joshua called the 12 men from the tribe of Israel, whom he had appointed, a man from each tribe, and Joshua said to them, pass on before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of the Jordan, and take up each of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of tribes of Israel, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, what do those stones mean to you? Then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. And when it passed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever. And the people of Israel did just as Joshua commanded them, took up 12 stones out of the midst of the Jordan, according to the number of tribes of the people of Israel, just as the Lord told Joshua. And they carried them over with them to the place where they lodged and laid them down. And Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests bearing the ark had stood. So he built another stack of stones where the priests had actually stood. And they are there to this day. For the priests bearing the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was finished, that the Lord commanded Joshua to tell the people according to all that Moses has commanded Joshua. Okay, there's a lot there. It's we know what they did was amazing. I mean, the riverbanks were overflowing as it was. It was the time of year that the river was pretty busy, and priests stepped into raging waters because God told them to. Kind of far cry from what it was like 40 years prior to that when they were afraid to cross the river, not because of the waters, but because of the armies on the other side. This story is about remembrance. And when I look back on Scripture, there's so many instances where in Exodus, I think it was Exodus 13, God said, remember this day in which you came out from Egypt. It specifically said for him to remember. And this will be, in the Passover, he said, this shall be a memorial day. And to this day, Jews celebrate the Passover. In Deuteronomy, he says, you shall remember the whole way the Lord your God has led you. And that was how God provided for their every need in that 40 years in the desert. We have been told in Scripture to remember the Sabbath. What God did to Pharaoh. The law of Moses, the covenant, all of God's blessings. Every time God stepped in, he told the people to remember. But I think as I was reading these verses, it reminded me of one particular instance. And it went to Jesus' words in Luke 22. And I'm going to read it to you. And we hear it all the time in church. So we're doing what God had asked us to do, to remember, to be a part of our lives. He said, he took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it. And he gave it to them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Jesus, in his own words, asks us to remember. He asks us to do something to help us remember. I guess it's because our memories are so short, or because we have a tendency to get preoccupied with other things. But God's constantly reminding us of what he's done and how he's been with us and how he's helped us. I thought today would be a good challenge for all of us to look back on our lives, look back at who we are and what we've been through, and remember, and maybe say thank you to God for the times when you know God was there, the times when you knew something happened that shouldn't have happened, the times when you were alone, but you weren't alone. There's so many instances where God's there, and we just don't even think about it. Today, let's think about it a little bit. Let's go through our day remembering who he is, what he's done, and how we benefited from it. That's what I have for you today, guys. I hope it was a blessing. We have 25 people online, and Lord only knows where they're coming from. But It's good news, right? Have a firmly rooted day, gentlemen. And remember who you are and whose you are. And may someone see Jesus in you today. Peace.